Well, hello to you, our dear viewers of Capuchin TV, and welcome to the Family Faith Show, whereby we get to interact with the youth in various ways.
Let's stop judging people according to their tribes.
We present to you fresh perspectives, exciting conversations, engaging debates, Bible trivia discussions, showcasing of talents such as singing, dancing, so buckle up because this season is about to be epic with me, your one and only host, Susan Bulemi. Keep it locked right here on the Family Faith Show every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only on Capuchin TV. And welcome to today's Family Faith Show with me, your host Susan Bulemi, and we do hope you're doing well, our dear view, from wherever you're tuning in from. And of course, on today's episode, our topic of discussion is men's mental health awareness. Breaking the silence, we're going to explore on why a higher percentage of men choose to suffer in silence, how we can support them as a community, and also why seeking help is a sign of strength and not weakness. And of course, I'm joined by wonderful guests who are going to help unpack more on this conversation. But remember, our dear viewer, if you'd like to participate in today's conversation, you can always send us an SMS via our SMS number 21760, or rather leave us a comment on all our social media handles. That's on YouTube, Facebook, and also on TikTok, and your message will be delivered. And now I'd like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves. Karibuni sana.
Asante. Yes, my name is Jeremiah Mowo. I am a men's mental health champion as well as a gender equality champion, and we strive to create communities which are balanced for all of us to coexist together. I do work at Semezana, where we promote men's mental health and the conversation of how best we can support each other. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much, Jeremiah, and
Anytime.
we're glad to have you on set today, and we are looking forward to what you have to share with us.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Chitsugane Bernstein, and I must admit that I'm delighted to be here once again, sharing more about mental health, and to be specific, the men's mental health aspect of it. So personally, I am a journalist by profession, also a mental health enthusiast, currently serving with the Scout Sealing Invisible Wounds team. Yeah, thank you, and I'll be looking forward to sharing more of what I know.
Wow, thank you so much, Bernstein. And yes, our dear viewer, like you've had, he's not a new face, he's been here before. So once again, Bernstein, we appreciate for you joining us here today.
I'm honored.
Okay, and now if we could just get straight into today's conversation. We're talking about men's mental health. Most times we get to have a discussion on this topic, but we generalize it. We talk about generally mental health. But today we are focusing on men. And maybe first and foremost, I'd like to begin with you, Jeremiah. Maybe you could just brief our viewers and maybe try to explain to them what you mean by mental health, or rather mental health awareness.
All right. First off, I'm really glad that we're just coming a day ago from Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And when we talk about men's mental health, is where we are purposefully looking at the well-being of the man and things that surround him psychologically, things that strengthen him, and also things that overwhelm us as men. And a lot of times this is a conversation which is usually overlooked, because you find men go through a lot psychologically. There is a big toll which drowns on them out of societal expectations, gender expectations, and so you find being able to have that place of solace, that place of safety to emotionally and psychologically communicate their needs and their needs to be addressed then we have the conversation men's mental health. Of course, we won't talk about every other person, but once we center it to men, then we're able to address the gender-specific needs of psychology that the man goes through, and we are able to table solutions and approaches which speak to those specific needs of a man. And so June being such a month where we celebrate men and also create awareness around the mental health globally, indeed we have that conversation. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for mentioning that about June being Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Maybe we'll get back to that in a few. But I'd also like to get your input, Bernstein, concerning what we mean when we talk about men's mental health, or rather mental health awareness.
Yes, so just to echo what my good friend has said, all that he has said is true. Yeah. And just maybe to add on whatever I feel maybe he might have left out is, normally as men, we tend to view things to do with psychological problems, mental health issues that affect us. We all put them under one category and say that once I get money, I've solved close to all the mental problems that I have, which is probably not the case in this matter. So we are trying this month, or the awareness itself helps us create or inform more people about what this mental health about men is, to be specific, such that we are able to reach out to as many men as possible, and also just to balance the gender in the equation. As much as we are informing men, also the women have to be empowered of the same, so that I do not inform you, then as you go home, again, you start from zero, because whatever I've informed you or I've educated you on is the same thing you're facing back at home, yet whoever you're going back home to has not been informed of the same. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for that. And you've talked about there are the different mental health, let me say, challenges that men face, but they tend to generalize it and say, okay, if I get money, I'll manage to fix most of this problem. Maybe we could get deep into that. What are some of these challenges that men are going through out here?
Okay, so to start with, we have a couple of them, maybe just to mention but a few. We have, for instance, a person could be ill just by themselves. And apparently this person is becoming ill as a result of maybe a simple thing as maybe cold or whatever. Then coincidentally, this person, Gen Z, we say hajapata mjengo for that specific time. So their point of information is, it's money that is making me sick. This person does not want to go to the hospital and get diagnosed for that specific aspect of illnesses they are going through. They just they tend to generalize or say it to themselves, trying to preempt everything that if I get money right now, my whatever I'm suffering from or my illness will end immediately. The other thing, we have a lot of mental issues that men go through. Starting with the pressure from the society itself, whereby I'm supposed to bear the toxic masculinity for I to be seen as a man. Relating that to maybe the aspect where somebody has to have money is, the society views me as that person who is the provider. You see, so when I don't have money or I've not been able to meet the specific needs of that society as a man, then I've failed. I put that as a blame to myself, forgetting that I can work out this minus involving in so much activities that are not necessary, triggering my mental health to maybe be somehow traumatized and some sort of things. Yeah.
So much for that. And you've actually reminded me there's a certain meme I came across last month, when now it was everywhere that it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and someone was saying, I know it's Men's Mental Health Month, but hizi ni nini mnasema ati mwanaume anafaa kulia, mwanaume anafaa open up, but you people are doing extra. So when I read that, I was like, okay, now this is the reason why most people are not speaking up, you know, because I read it as a joke, but if there's someone who's going through something, they'll read it and they'll be like, maybe I'm not supposed to speak up, right? Okay. How about you, Jeremiah? What do you have to add to what Banstein has talked about, the various challenges, especially mental health challenges that men are facing in the community?
Alluding now from what he's been able to mention, I would say, plus the meme that is so, most of the times there are also expectations put to men on how they should process things. That crying is what will show a man is processing their issues, which is part of it, but not fully it. I think a lot of times societies put expectations of men. Boys should not cry. It's something which is still in existence today, in as much as it has been a cliche when you talk about mental health. But creating that safety net for men to be able to express themselves is something that a lot of societies have not been able to provide for a man. Even when it comes to conversation where a man is sort of going through something and he comes and even shares it with the boys. At times you'll hear ni juu jaenda sherehe tutoke, let's go out and do something, but we've not addressed what that man has been able to express as a concern. That bro, Mrs. Kifiti, that bro, manze, I'm overwhelmed with this. And then you tell him, let's go out, you just need this. So being able to create that safety net is one of the issues that really deter a lot of men from speaking up and being able to process things. Secondly is how they process things is differently. Being able to understand men to that capacity is very important because we all have different ways of processing how we understand issues. May it be depression, may it be anxiety, may it be being overwhelmed, being broke, as is mentioned. We will all process. Maybe his broke amount is 10,000, mine is 1,000 bob. And I'll act when I'm broke without 1,000 bob is differently from how we'll act with 10,000 shillings. So being able to understand even those pressures that come along, especially on men, because I would say the biggest issue that men befall is the providence aspect, which now brings up mental health instability, but also even health-wise as is shared, other bits which we see now as an aftermath of unprocessed mental traumas. It extends even now to domestic violence, where we'll see now, because a man has been able to bottle up a lot of issues even in the household level, he ends up beating up the kids. You wonder, Daddy, mbona umetuchapa hivyo? Nilivunja tu kikombe. Or now it ends up being now husband to wife, intimate partner violence, where the wife is even wondering, what is happening, Baba Nani? But it's because a lot of things have been bottled up, and now once they spike up, others will go and start fighting their other mates just to take it out. Yes.
Now, I appreciate that you talked about people, especially the men, bottling up a lot of emotions and issues. Now, we are here talking about the different challenges that men are going through. But maybe what are some of the signs that if one experiences, they should maybe identify that I might be struggling when it comes to my mental health, especially for the men? What are the signs that one might notice themselves, or rather a friend might notice, and they'll realize, okay, Banstein or rather Jeremiah is going through something?
I think the obvious one is withdrawal. When you relate with men, it may be at the workplace, in the household, in a friend group, we will always show up the best way we can. We are active beings, we take part in activities, may it be playing football, may it be watching football, like right now we have the World Cup. So one of the signs you can be able to tell msea yuko fiti, they will definitely withdraw. So you start wondering, bro, uko fiti kweli? Mbona hauchangamki the way we do? So that's one of the signs where we'll be able to see a man not really faring up well mentally. Withdrawal is one of it. Secondly, I would say the aspect of them now being very repulsive in how they act. All of a sudden, anakasirika bure, you start wondering, bro, mbona unajam? I thought it's just something very small. Can you do jokes? Yes, things of the kind. So you find now they are very repulsive. Something small triggers, now they want to even get up in a fight. Those are unresolved bottled issues which come up, and there are many ways of being able to see and identify when a man is not able to be up to themselves and they're struggling mentally. Maybe to hear from my friend, I believe he has an addition as well.
Yes, I'm just excited that you've mentioned World Cup. I support France and Portugal. So just to add on what you've said, we also have we have these people whom we look up to. Sometimes these people, if you have a problem, this person is able to guide you through a problem you are going through or a situation where you need to like make a decision. So when it turns out that the person you've been running to all through is now unable to help you in the manner that he has been doing, then you are able to read those sorts of signs. And the other one is the obvious one, like he said. Most of us, actually I have such friends. If I appear somewhere unkempt, this person is likely, it's the first impression I give them. Why are you not yourself? What's happening? Then I'll be able to say, oh, my kinyos, you see, us, we don't cheat on our babas.
We never.
Loyalty.
Yes,
Loyalty.
Probably it's one of the most unique loyalty that we have. And the last one, probably.
Football teams.
And football, yes. So this person will be able to at least note that Bansen this time is not as smart as he's supposed to be or as he's been performing lately. Then the other one is performance in terms of everything. Your output at the workplace, with your friends, just like he mentioned, and any other various hobbies or activities that you take part in. So it becomes like a challenge partaking those activities like you've been doing all along. So those are some of the notable signs that one can read and maybe refer this person for mental health checkup or just refer them to probably a professional. He'll be able to help from there. Yes.
And is it possible for one to actually be struggling with their mental health, but now instead of being like the sense you've said, withdrawing or rather being quite irritable, they might be now overexcited, or rather they tend to, how will I put it? They tend to socialize a lot with people more than actually you would expect someone who is struggling with their mental health. Is it possible? Because I came across such an ad where it was two guys. They were watching football. It was kind of advertising the upcoming World Cup, but also talking about mental health. And they were both watching a game, and every day it was like they were going to watch almost every day. So every day when they used to meet, it's like the two of you. And now Jeremiah, every time when you come across Bernstein, you're always the one who is very hyper. Hi, how are you? But Bernstein, every time his mood tends to look like he's a bit off. But at the end of the ad, Jeremiah was not present. The only person who was there to watch the game was Bernstein. So they were showing that actually the people who are overexcited sometimes are the ones who are struggling. So is it possible? Is it actually common?
Yes, it's not much common, but it's something that is prevalent in our society nowadays. Because you'll find that we call them nonchalant people to some extent, but then all of a sudden I've now found the courage, the energy to be, how do I put this, to be overly excited, unlike before. So to the community, that's how they expect you to be. But to yourself, it's something you are going through. Now your way of manifestation of it is now being overly excited. You see, and it's I am a part of the suicide prevention ambassadors, and it's actually most among many of the signs, the warning signs of a person who is about to maybe think in line with suicide, like this person is suicidal or something. It's something you find that this person could give up even their valuables, like your phone. You see, nowadays you cannot go anywhere minus your phone. It's something that it's part of you. Then you'll find this person all of a sudden just leaves the phone in the house, or will tend even to tell you, let me give you this phone in exchange to a smaller phone, I don't need it anymore. Those are some of the notable signs, and thank you for mentioning it. I think we had left it out.
For sure. Maybe just a small addition. I can say being able to see people hyper at times, you need to be concerned, because most of the times, especially people who die by suicide, you usually hear so and so alijinyonga, and then you wonder, tulikuwa tafutana leo asubuhi. It's because society has always put pressure on putting up a mask that you're okay, everything is fine. And so at times you find you wouldn't want people to see what you're struggling in within, because as they say, at times the most happy faces are faces which are struggling from within, if we are really not keen to understand where they're coming from, and also is the source of that happiness. That's why it's very important to be checking on our friends and even our relatives over and over again, because at times somebody will come up with a facade of being very happy, very proactive in things, but deep down you don't know the entire night they were actually crying their balls out. So yeah, it's usually something which is very prevalent, especially when somebody is at a surge of doing something which is very detrimental to themselves, like suicide. Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And okay, now let's talk about, there's something, Bernstein, you talked about. Yes, we are trying to create awareness among the men, but it should also, like, it should be two-way. And recently we've had a lot of, let me say, femicide cases. Okay, it's been both femicide and pedicide, but let's focus a bit on the femicide cases. And you find most of these cases, these women were maybe attacked by their partners, or even if it's not being killed, you find two people were lovers and the man decided to pour acid on the lady. Do you think some of these men who are doing these things, could it be that some of them do have mental health issues and maybe they are not aware of it?
Yes, there's a possibility of you living with a mental health illness that you are not aware of. And probably those people who follow me, maybe on my social media platforms, have been able to emphasize the need of us not diagnosing ourselves, because right now I'll be hungry and I don't know where to find food. I'll start saying I am depressed simply because I'm hungry and I don't know where I'll get food. But once I get that food, I'm no longer depressed. So you see, we are living in a society where these psychological terminologies are being used like just formally. That you can just wake up one day and say, I have stress, I'm depressed, I have anxiety. There is no thin line between whatever you are really feeling or whatever illness you are having and just a normal daily feeling that you come across. So that one is very possible, and probably part of it is anger, because how anger manifests itself, even us sometimes we don't understand, because you'll find a very irritable person that probably they realize they've done something bad after maybe they notice this person is oozing blood or this person is unconscious. That's when now subconsciously I'm able now to regain consciousness that there is something bad that has happened somewhere. Yeah, so it's very much possible living with the mental illnesses that you are not aware of. Yes.
Jeremiah?
Yeah. As someone who actually has been in the gender space for the last 3 years, a lot of cases of intimate partner violence stem majorly from unaddressed mental health issue, as is mentioned. That's why even when suspects of such cases are presented to court, the judge usually first assigns them to go get a mental health examination before making a ruling, because most of the times they have undiagnosed mental health challenges which really need to be addressed. And they said it's until you realize you've done something which is detrimental, when it triggers you that, oh wow, something I did happened, but the anger blinded you to see what you're doing to your partner. And a lot of these issues, as is mentioned, just to wrap it up, is we self-diagnose. Nasikia niko anxious and we really can't define what anxiety is.
Nimekuwa triggered.
are triggered, but actually if you sit down with yourself and somebody helps you understand, you actually find those are not even your triggers. There are other things which trigger you. So it's very important for, even when we are together with our partners, to sit down and be able to understand our weaknesses, our strength, what pushes us further, and what makes us feel calm and at home, and even ways to address violence when it comes in between two people. Because conflict will always exist when people are together.
True.
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much for that, and thank you for that explanation that the both of you have made, that people should stop self-diagnosing. Like, you just stated, oh, I'm depressed just because today you woke up sad, or oh, something happened, I'm very traumatized. Especially the word trauma, it's really misused among the society. So it's really important that our dear viewer, we get to educate ourselves on these terms so that we don't end up misusing them and actually invalidating people who are actually going through such issues. And now at this juncture, we'd like to take a very short commercial break, but as we return, we still proceed with today's topic of discussion, which is men's mental health awareness. Stay tuned. Well, hello to you, our dear viewers of Capuchin TV, and welcome to the Family Faith Show, whereby we get to interact with the youth in various ways.
Let's stop judging people according to their tribes.
We present to you fresh perspectives, exciting conversations, engaging debates, Bible trivia discussions, showcasing of talents such as singing, dancing, art, and so much more from guests who keep it real and authentic.
Sasa wewe, nitajuaje hautanihat? Intrude to my nature, come to us,
So buckle up, because this season is about to be epic with me, your one and only host, Susan Bulemi. Keep it locked right here on the Family Faith Show every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only on Capuchin TV.
Wito wako umenijua mimi, hata kabla sijaumbwa, kabla sijazaliwa mimi, wewe ulinitakasa.
On Thursday, 2nd July, Capuchin TV will proudly join the clergy, families and friends in witnessing a profound milestone in the life of the church, the priestly ordination of 8 deacons. The deacons to be ordained are Deacon Frederick Michael Esafu from St. Peter Clavers Parish, Deacon Levis Kamamo Nyanjui from St. Joseph the Waka Parish, Mutongoro, Deacon Francis Gunjiri Thairu from Mary Help of Christians Parish, Ndondo, Deacon Joseph Ngogi Muturi from St. John the Evangelist Parish, Githega, Deacon Eliud Kangara Kinyanjui from All Saints Parish, Riara, Deacon Stephen Mogo Mohe from All Saints Parish, Komothai, Deacon Victor Wasike Wanjala from St. Paul's Chapel, University of Nairobi, and Deacon Victor Mureithi SJ from Holy Rosary Catholic Parish, Ikinu. This grace-filled occasion will take place at the Holy Family Minor Basilica beginning at 10 a.m. The celebration of the Holy Eucharist and the rites of ordination will be presided over by Most Reverend Philip Anyolo, the Archbishop of Nairobi. Capuchin TV extends its heartfelt congratulations to the Archdiocese of Nairobi on this historic and grace-filled milestone. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your staunchly Catholic identity channel.
Is your home or office in need of a professional touch? Look no further than Lizfa Solutions Limited, your trusted partner for dependable, high quality, and cost-effective cleaning services. Lizfa Solutions Limited. We specialize in residential cleaning, commercial cleaning, disinfection cleaning, house fumigation, move-in or move-out cleaning, post-construction cleaning, and deep cleaning services, learning institutions and churches. And also, our services include pest control services. Whether it's your home, office, apartment, or business premises, our trained team delivers spotless results every time. Experience the difference of a cleaner, healthier environment today. Visit us today at Victoria Office Suites, Block 1, ground floor, along Riverside Drive, Nairobi. Call us on 0702 707 043 or 0114 356 324. Or you can email lizfasolutions@gmail.com. Lizfa Solutions Limited, delivering dependable, high quality, and cost-effective cleaning solutions.
Well, hello to you, our dear viewers of Capuchin TV, and welcome to the Family Faith Show, whereby we get to interact with the youth in various ways.
Let's stop judging people according to their tribes.
We present to you fresh perspectives, exciting conversations, engaging debates, Bible trivia discussions, showcasing of talents such as singing, dancing, art, and so much more from guests who keep it real and authentic.
Sasa wewe, nitajuaje hautanihat? Intrude human nature, cover to us,
So buckle up because this season is about to be epic with me, your one and only host, Susan Bulemi. Keep it locked right here on the Family Faith Show every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only on Capuchin TV. Hello, our dear viewer, and welcome back to the Family Faith Show, whereby today our topic of discussion is men's mental health awareness. And of course, before we took the break, we were having a discussion, and we have focused on the different things. First of all, we got to explain what we mean by mental health, and also we got to explain why many a higher percentage of men choose to be silent and not share the struggles they are going through. And yes, I'm still here with my wonderful guests who have helped unpack more on that topic of discussion. And yeah, as we move forward, remember, our dear viewer, our social media platforms are still open for you to send your feedback so that we can share right here on the show. But before we proceed with the conversation, we can read feedback that you are getting from Aaron kutoka Lumakanda. He says kipindi iko sawa. Thank you so much, Aaron. And for you, our dear viewer who are still watching, please remember to share your feedback, of course, from to our SMS number 21760 or all our social media handles. That's on YouTube, Facebook, and also on TikTok. Now, without further ado, I'd like for us to proceed with our conversation. Once again, Jeremiah Bernstein, welcome. And we've talked about a lot, but we still have a lot that we've not covered. And now let's talk about, earlier, Bernstein, you had mentioned that also people go through mental health challenges because of the pressure that we are getting. And pressure comes in different forms. We do have peer pressure in the society, and also we have pressure from social media. Now, social media has its negative side and its positive side, but first of all, how would you say social media has really had an impact in maybe when it comes to matters concerning mental health among men?
Okay, so I'll say my positive take towards social media as a tool that has helped improve the men's mental health is nowadays, like, having men sit down for a specific engagement is a bit difficult because issues surrounding it are well known to us. we have uchumi and stuff. All those things are affecting the need, because for you to keep those men there, you must provide something for them. It's either transport reimbursement, it's food, like it takes quite much organizing for such. So the social media itself has brought a very positive impact to us men, because whatever another man is doing, though not coping like the entire thing they are doing, could really help you. Again, without as a person who have been diagnosed of a mental health illness, then you see another person with the same issue as yours, and how they are trying to cope up with it positively influence you, and it makes you regain that sense of belonging, that I'm not the only one in this situation. There are a couple of people and they are managing it. And it has also helped the what is seen as a larger space become a very tiny space, because it's simple as whatever we are having now or today will be reflected to so many people out there, yet the space we are in compared to the impact that is going to be made is a bit higher. So apart from that, we also have the fact that social media, to some extent, it's a bit cheaper, because you do not need to have a phone for you to be on social media. Even the TV itself, where you are watching it from home, you could be passing by a neighbor's place, you watch it, and you are able to get information that is really relevant to your mental health. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Jeremiah, how about you? How or what impact do you think social media has had in matters concerning mental health among men?
I think I will pick the other side of the coin by going negative, because over time social media came to easen things up, matters communication and how we relate as a people. But at the very same time, social media has caused a lot of detriment issues. Remember, we've had suicide cases where people were taught how to commit suicide even using AI, like a case where we saw ChatGPT was sued. At the very same time, the films which people are watching, they've induced that idea of how people can self-harm. At the very same time, looking at social media pressure, you're there in your house, 22-year-old, why are you getting a G63? And the sharp boys are telling you, stay guided.
Stay guided, you brokey.
So you brokey. And so as a man, you feel inferior of yourself. And so you end up now being stressed out of pressures which are even beyond you. At the very same time, it has got to a point where it informs how men should relate even when it comes to relationships. I mean, we've seen hashtags, if you wanted to, he will. Where is a man getting 80,000 at 23 years to take a girl out on a vacation in Zanzibar? So at the very same time, in as much as there is a positive side of it, I would say it has also brought a lot of detrimental issues which outweigh the advantages from my perspective. Because also still social media is not the healthiest of ways to cope up with mental fatigue and even mental issues where you feel depressed, you're overwhelmed by things. Do something, do a hobby, go and interact with people. Trust me, there is a lot of healing which comes with interaction with other people than scrolling on your phone. Because yes, you've gone on TikTok, for example, doom scrolled for 2 hours. That does not still sort out your issues. Actually, you'll come back more overwhelmed. So nitasema mtandao ya kijamii kwa kweli bado haijasuluhisha swala la kimawazo kwa wanaume. Yes.
There's still a lot.
There is still a lot to be done. Yes.
Yes, maybe just to add on what you said, it's very true, the negative side probably to some extent outweighs now the advantages. But Pia, you tend to look at it this way, that in many occasions, people who are trying to come up with informative sessions or discussions or whatever, they are going first for social media before they gather people around. Though whatever he has said is very much true. Now this trickles back to oneself. What do you want to get on that platform that you are in? What are you searching there? Now, if I'm informed enough to know that whatever I'm going for in that social media platform should like be of positive impact to myself, then we are heading somewhere as a community. But if I'm just there for the sake of the peer pressure that you talked about initially, then that's where the challenges come in, and that's when we start competing with we start competing who is who in this society, using the same social media platform that now tends to negatively influence whatever we are trying to build. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for that. I'm very curious because we find that still on social media, there's usually a time of the year, I don't know which month it is, that there's usually the men's conference.
On Valentine.
I have not attended one because, of course, I am not a man. But how do I put it? Does holding this conference, does it help in any way, or what kind of discussions are usually held in that conference that are maybe impactful to the men in the society? Do you think it's helpful? Would you say it's helpful to men?
I believe men's conference usually happens in February around the Valentine season. Personally, I've not attended one, but gathering from what I've come across around the men's conference, Amabunge la wazee, is that there are usually conversations actually which are very important on embracing how a man can better themselves. But at the very same time, there are usually centers of, embracing and affirming patriarchy at the same time. I'll speak it from a gender lens. Because over time, you'll see people who have done a lot of hideous things posted on social media. You'll hear, huyu ni atakuwa speaker comments conference. But looking at the brighter side of it, because we've had people like Eric Omondi, Dr. Ofweneke, who are usually organizers around it, it actually speaks on how men can better themselves and even how better they can address the mental health issues around, where you'll have even that intergenerational exchange, because it's not usually a one age group. We'll have Gen Zs there, we'll have millennials there, we'll have Gen X there, we'll have even baby boomers there, and they will tell you, kijana, fanya 1, 2, 3, hivi ndivyo kunaendanga. So I find it's even a platform for guidance on how best we can live as men and promote our well-being and that holistic approach of how we interact with one another in our society. Yes.
Just to add on, I've been caught by what he said, that those people who advocate for, like, we have specific people whom we want or we view as good people to talk to us maybe in those conferences. So the other point was there's this polygamist person whom we really advocated for to be one of the speakers. But now, see how tables stand, those people are never invited. It's just the social media aspect of it, them being hyped to be part of those people who will speak. Personally, like he has said, I've never attended, but I have people who've been to those spaces. They do happen. It's not just something that is going, it's being rumored around. It's something that happens. And part of the good things they are being taught there is how to be a real man in the society. Like, just like we are being seen as providers, people who are supposed to provide security and some sort of stuff. So we have the elderly who've gone through these stages, trying to help these Gen Zs, like he said, and the younger us, like pull up ourselves to maybe where they are. We might not follow their track like entirely, but we are able to follow through some of the steps that we view will help us at the end of the day. So there's the positive and negative side of it, but mostly we have the positive side outweighing what social media rumors about those men conferences. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
And maybe just lastly, I was missing out on this. So we have tried like to decentralize those men conferences because it happens once a year during parallel to the Valentine's that we are supposed to take our people in quotes to some very expensive places that we are not able to meet. So recently we've organized them to men barazas, very small, and this starts from high school. Personally, from the Scout Selling Invisible Wounds team, we visit schools, both girls and boys schools. So whenever we are in a boys' school, we will try mentoring them from those spaces as early as teenagers, so that as you grow up, you are knowledgeable that as much as I have to hold on to masculinity, let it explain what it is or manifest itself in the right way, not the toxic masculinity of it. Just like he said, in the month of June, we always like have the Men's Mental Health Awareness Month in June. So we have had several groups that we give them projects to do. So at the end, actually, we had the last sitting last weekend with my team, where they had to present whatever from the project that we gave them. Now it's time they are reporting and how they did it, how they found it being, and whether they are willing to like incorporate more people in it, or they're willing to recruit more. And it happens like we intend to do it like nationwide, and because currently we're only doing it in Nairobi. So as we continue having those small groups, we are building a community. Then the ladies in the team, at least on the other hand, are at least informing the ladies of what we are doing as well. So that, like I said in the beginning, I do not like build something that is going to be destroyed the next minute. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for that. And you've talked about talking to even the high school students, and now that brings me to my next questions. When we're talking about the especially academic institutions, what can they do to help create more mental health awareness among men in these schools? Because let's talk about even in campus, or rather let's start even from high school. We've witnessed how of late we've had this school unrest, the burning of schools, this especially the one that happened at Utumishi Girls, and you talked about it earlier, and just to mention, even for their case, you remember the judge said they have to go through the mental test. Yeah, mental test. So we have such cases in high schools. Now going to the universities and campus, we have now the different issues. You know, now in campus you're seeing a lot. You're coming across a lot of things that most of them maybe you are not getting to access them while you're in high school. So what can these academic institutions do for the young men to help create more awareness when it comes to their mental health?
That's a very good question. Now apparently I'm seated with one friend who some time back they invited me. I guess you were in that forum. They invited me for a forum. I guess it was something to do with men's again. Yes. I guess in 2025 or 2024, I'm not sure of the dates. So we have these peer counselors themselves. If again the institution itself is not able to offer, or what is being offered by institution is insufficient, the student leaders now through the peer counselors through the students leaders can decentralize these programs. Say quarterly or maybe biannually, we have smaller discussions on matters men's mental health, just to discuss about what men go through, how we can like get out of these issues that we are suffering. But now on the bigger that one might work for the campus students. We have those that are maybe in high school or whatever. We are advocating for proper or informed, or rather professional counselors in school, other than what we've had. You see, we went somewhere, and I don't mean to be dismissive. We went somewhere, and just a student randomly asked us, this teacher, I don't know how informed this student was, and he said this teacher learned psychology as a unit in their studies. Now he's here pretending to know more about psychological issues or things to do with psychology more than us, who our parents are psychologists in the house. So you see, we need to have professionals in these institutions. Someone whom, even if my parent is a psychologist, as a student, I'm able to reach to this person now as a fellow professional, like my parent is. Yes.
I think mine will be to add by saying that family is a basic social unit. And a lot of issues that bring up that we see the adult we interact with start with how somebody has been socialized from the household level. So the mental health issues and needs of a man, of any child, should start being addressed in the household level by the parents or the guardian, because things like speaking up, things like processing emotions, start with how a child has been. Nimekuchapa na nisisikie ukilia. Enda huko, enda kalia huko, nisisikie sauti yako. What are you teaching that child? How are you bringing up this child? So in as much as we might have peer counselors in schools, we may bring the health professionals in the institutions, there is a balance which should be struck even from the household level. From the parent, the guardian, how they are teaching this child to process emotions is very, very important. Because a lot of ideas of who we are stem from our homes. So if mental health is something, now I'm coming and we're being forced to go to peer counseling sessions because it's part of the school program. At times people, I don't see the essence of it. Nitenda huko, nivae hoodie na nidoze. Iyo class ipite, as I was seeing it in my high school. But if it was very important from how it started in the household, having conversations of kevombo no mekasirika, shida ni nini, and it's not coming from a point of judgment, it's coming from a point of concern. Then that's when we strike a balance of bringing up a holistic man that even when we interact with them in campuses, in high school, they've been able to embrace that from when they were a child in the household. Yes.
And also just to add on, I think he has preempted my other point. We are trying now as much as possible. You see, like the phrase we are using, if you are 25 and above, you do not come from a poor background. You are the poor background yourself. Just in the same line in mental health, we've been criticizing our parents for the longest, the society for the longest. Now we are the ones who are around. So let us start by ourselves. How good are we, like grooming ourselves first, so that onwards from our generation we'll have people who are very much enlightened on matters mental health, and people whom health-wise have been brought up holistically, like he said, through now the families. You see, in the near future we are becoming now the families that we usually criticize. You see, so from our generation onwards, let us be people who are able to address these issues with empathy and all that it deserves, with the love, so that when it becomes their turn to criticize us, we already informed them. We are now upbringing a generation that is well informed on matters mental health. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for that. And maybe just to also add on what Jeremiah, you had to say about the counseling that happens in high school. Also, I think they could also do better, because you used to find there's a session, or rather you find maybe in your high school there's a day that in this particular hour, it's the hour for you to have a counselor come to your school, they talk to you, but you know, it got to a point, it was like it's monotonous. They come, they tell us the same stories. Maybe anakuja anakuambia, oh, unajua mimi hata nilikuwa napata D, and then nikalala nikaamka, kesho nikaamka nikapata B. You see, most of these sessions, they were not talking to us about matters concerning mental health. It was only about academics, which is okay because we are in school to learn. Academic is the major priority, but you see, there are these other issues, especially nowadays, whereby mental health is something that is something that now occurs a lot more than maybe Pierre, in the past it used to happen, but you see now during those times people never used to talk about it. But you see nowadays people are going through different problems, different issues. So I also think the academic institutions could do better.
Absolutely.
When it comes to that.
I'm not sure whether I'm talking too much, but
no, go ahead.
In line with what you've said, personally, as now the Healing Invisible Wounds team, we've designed a program called the Kyoto Teams. It's an entire day's program, like from 9 to around 4 or 5 p.m. depending on the school program, where we incorporate all these things. And we also have one-on-ones. We might have that student who is willing to talk to maybe a professional, because we go as a team. Now to cut across everything, we have the financial aspect, we have now the mental health itself, we have the career development people who are able to help you, like choose the career or advise you on which career you would want to take. You could talk to them and they might maybe give their piece of advice on what is supposed to be done. So that program outshines the normal programs that we have at on Fridays, 4 p.m. We meet in the dining hall. We have a motivational speaker who will come tell us how now he has vehicles, and apparently during their time they used to read with the light from the smoke, from the cigarette and stuff. So we are trying to like trickle these issues to be fun.
Yeah.
You see, we put the VAR games, board games and stuff, so that as you engage there, you are trying to like reason and think for yourself. That in simple time, you'll analyze and see, of all these people, where am I supposed to go and create help? Yes,
absolutely.
That's nice. That's wonderful, and it's a great initiative that now most institutions should try and embrace. Now we've talked about all that, but now let's try and look for, let me call it, solutions. What would you say are maybe the habits, or rather healthy habits, that men could try and maintain to at least try and work on themselves and try and work on their mental health? Like, what should one try and participate in or involve themselves in that could help improve their mental health? Jeremiah, you could go first.
I think by us being able to first off understand the needs of men is when we'll be able to inform the solutions to the crisis we face as men mentally. Secondly is being able, number one, to meet us at our point of need. Is it when we are playing football, when we are watching football, or when we are having conversations, tukisoma gazeti? That's where you will be able to meet us and then tailor make the solutions to speak to us more. Thirdly is when peace is something we will find, because I think men really value peace. In our households, in our workplace, being able to create that peaceful, conducive environment where men can even express their concerns when peace is not found. That ABCD yenye unafanya hainifurahishi. Tukifanya hivi, basi I'll be okay and we can move forward. That will be very important as part of the solutions, even in the academic space, in schools, being able to provide peace and understand the boys in the institutions. At times, yes, the concerns might look ambiguous, where they say, tunataka enter. Maybe that's what they need, and you see a surge in performance for that day.
There was another one, tunataka mkate. Just give them the bread.
Yeah, because at times, personally coming from an 844 system, I just looked at some things which the school was putting pressure on us, and I was like, I think we would have performed better. 3 a.m. in the morning to classes to 10 p.m. I mean, that time you're mentally drowned. That by the time a teacher is coming for remedial, trust me, there is nothing which can come on, you know, to your understanding. So being able to even listen to what men are communicating is part of the solution. I submit to that bit.
Thank you so much. Balancing.
Yeah, there is another bit of contentment. Just inakuja na aspect ya the financial pressure that we have as men. So learn to work within your budget with what you have. That one will save us from a lot of problems that we incur to ourselves. And also just be a brother's keeper. You as a friend, I know how best this person is supposed to be groomed, and maybe how he's supposed to be behaving. So in case they are not acting up to what I know, then I'll have to reach out and know what's the problem at that point. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. And maybe we could read feedback that you're getting. We have Guchu who says hot topic, he's enjoying. Thank you so much, Guchu, for following. And we have Paul Mwangi who says, thank you for spearheading men's mental wellness, because it's a very ignored subject, hence men tend to remain silent. Let's be champions of men mental wellness. Also to Bernstein, representing YSC Ruiru. Bernstein, salamu imefika.
I'm honored. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, our dear viewer, for those who've managed to send us your feedback. We do appreciate for following. And now I can see we are running out of time. My director is letting me know that you should conclude. So Jeremiah, maybe briefly in one statement, give us your parting shot in regards to today's topic of discussion.
Let's create a peaceful environment for all of us to coexist.
Thank you so much, Bernstein.
Yes, besides creating a peaceful coexistence place, we should always just know there's help next door. It's just you to be vulnerable enough to reach out to someone, and confidentiality is key. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much, Bernstein. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. And our dear viewer, this juncture, would like to conclude today's episode. And I do not have much to say. I believe my guests have said a lot, and they've managed to, educate us also on things that we didn't know when it comes to matters concerning mental health. And now I just leave you with one assignment. Mental health among men should not be something that men are working on themselves. We as the community, we could also do our part. Have you ever taken time to talk to your brother, talk to your father, talk to your cousin, your friend, ask them how are they doing, how has life been? Just that simple question is enough for one to open up if they're going through something. And also just a reminder as we conclude is that mental health is as important as your physical health. So they both go hand in hand. So make sure you do try to take care of yourself when it comes to your mental health and also your physical health. And remember, like they said, men, is just to echo what they've said, is that no one should suffer in silence. Speak up, find someone you're comfortable with, share with them what you're going through, and I guarantee you a problem shared is a problem half solved. I have been your host, Susan Bulemi. Until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and remember to always keep it Capuchin TV. Well, hello to you, our dear viewers of Capuchin TV, and welcome to the Family Faith Show, whereby we get to interact with the youth in various ways.
Let's stop judging people according to their tribes.
We present to you fresh perspectives, exciting conversations, engaging debates, Bible trivia discussions, showcasing of talents such as singing, dancing, art, and so much more from guests who keep it real and authentic.
Sasa wewe, nitajuaje hautani-hurt? It's true that human nature covers us.
So buckle up, because this season is about to be epic with me, your one and only host, Susan Bulemi. Keep it locked right here on the Family Faith Show every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only on Capuchin TV.